What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA and college basketball action here on Saturday, February 7th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game. We're going to break down the biggest college basketball games of the night. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So as a huge thank you to me, take that 10th of a second and hit that thumbs up button. Like the video. It only takes a second and does a ton to get these videos promoted out there. Does an awful lot to make our way through that YouTube algorithm. Also, take a second and check below and see if you're subscribed. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, trying to make that happen this year. Already 1 month down. We still got a long way to go. So let's see if we can make that happen. It doesn't take very long to check and see if you're subscribed, and it's absolutely free, and it'll keep you from missing out on these videos that I'm posting here every single solitary day. Also, get down in the comments. Let me know anything you want to say about my videos, about my picks today, about my picks yesterday. Any questions you have across the sporting world, I'm more than happy to answer them. Also, you got to check the pinned comment. That's the top comment below the video. That's where you'll find my absolute favorite picks from every single solitary YouTube video. So that's where you'll find the plays that I like the most from these videos. So definitely make sure you're checking in on those. Yesterday, guys, things got off to a tough start there. We did have the Knicks at -1.5. A terrible performance from them, a late scratch on Cat, seemingly kind of caused the Knicks to just mail it in and get blown out. Also, the Pistons did shoot the ball a little bit better than we're used to seeing, so that was a little bit of a tough way to start things off. But we bounced back quickly. We had Murray State +1. The pace of the Murray State Racers showed out. They got the solid 91-81 win over Southern Illinois. The Racers are going to be a tough out for anyone in the Missouri Valley Conference this season. We also cast St. John's +1.5. Caught a lot of flack down in the comments for that pick, and it was a close game early on. Things were tied at halftime, but thanks in part to a solid home court advantage there for the Red Storm at Madison Square Garden, we see them grab the lead and ride it out to an eventual 81-72 win, giving UConn their first Big East loss of the season. That one felt pretty good. We were very confident in St. John's, and they did come through for us and deliver. Unfortunately, UIC bricked us out. They were getting off of they got off to a really rough start there at the beginning of the game. Couldn't make a big enough comeback. They do eventually lose only by 6. So, I mean, we had them at +3. They knock in one more 3, and we can get the push there. So that was a little bit annoying. We did catch the Pelicans +11.5 as our dog of the day. Despite Julius Randle playing, we see the Pelicans make that huge comeback and eventually get the straight-up 119-115 win on the road behind monster games from both Zion, Trey Murphy, and Sadiq Bey. We still have the Portland Trailblazers live as our lock of the day. They're currently up by 4 at halftime there over Memphis. Portland got off to a bit of a slow start, but I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. Hopefully they can build on that lead and get us the comfortable win and cover there playing at home. Guys, tons and tons of games to cover today. A massive NBA slate, a huge college slate as well. So let's go ahead and get after it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com and checking out everything the experts are saying over there. Coming off another very good night over there at stumpthespread.com. So let's go ahead and get after it. First up, we're in the Washington Wizards heading to Brooklyn to take on the Nets. The Wizards come into this game 14-36 on the season, but they are fresh off a win there at Detroit, getting the 126-117 win. That was pretty wild. You don't see that every night, obviously, with Washington being one of the worst teams in all of basketball, honestly. They do shoot 44% from 3, though. That's going to get you some wins. I mean, they played well enough. Sarr had a decent night. We liked a lot of what we saw. I mean, Will Riley off the bench had a big night, but this is not a team that's built to really compete this season. They're going to be tanking things out. Next year with Anthony Davis and Trae Young, things could look an awful lot different. The injury report coming into this one is very crowded. Trey Johnson going to be sidelined. Kaishan George on there. Kulabe on there. And Alex Sarr also on the injury report. Kaishan George, questionable, bruised right knee. Kulabe, lower back soreness. He is questionable for this game. And Sarr is questionable due to an ankle issue. I kind of expect to see them sit a lot of guys out for this game. We'll see what happens as they go to Brooklyn to take on the Nets, who are 13-37 on the season. They've dropped 3 in a row, getting blown out by the Magic, Lakers, and Pistons. Things are not looking great. Obviously, we don't see Michael Porter Jr. get traded there at the trade deadline, so they're going to have him moving forward. They waive Cam Thomas. That's kind of wild. We'll see what happens with his career. But Michael Porter Jr. had a terrible night there against the Magic. We actually liked what we saw from a few different guys, but really it's not looking too hot there for the Brooklyn Nets. They come into this game looking fully healthy and ready to go, so I guess that's something. They're 4.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 220.5. The Wizards are 10-14 against spread on the road, 4-9 against spread after a win. They're a 500 over-under team on the road. Brooklyn is 12-12 against spread at home, 19-16-1 against spread after a loss. 13-11 to the under at home. Not super jazzed up about this game in general. Both teams are obviously terrible, but I will take the Brooklyn Nets here at -4.5. Seems like the Wizards are really, really dedicated to trying to lose this game. They're going to rest pretty much everyone they can, and that's going to leave the door open here for the Brooklyn Nets. Next on the dock, we've got a much better game. We're looking at the Houston Rockets heading to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. Now, this game is going to be at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's on ABC. The Rockets, they've lost 2 in a row, just losing to the Hornets and Celtics here over their last couple. Things looking a little bit weird for the Rockets. They don't really do much there, on the trade market. It was obviously being, thought that this team could possibly be trying to pick up a point guard, but that did not happen, so they're just going to go by, I guess, Amen Thompson and point guard by committee. I do not know how well that's going to work. KD put up 31 in that loss to the Hornets. Nobody did anything off the bench. This Rockets team not really impressing me right now. We'll see what they can do in this one. They are fully healthy and ready to go, but seems like a bit of a big ask. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are coming off a loss of their own. They were very depleted for that game. They lose 116-106 there at San Antonio. So we'll see if they've got a bounce back in them. Obviously, that was not quite the full strength Thunder. We don't see SGA play in that game. That makes, kind of a pretty huge difference. So we'll see what they're able to do in this one. Definitely a big bounce back spot. However, SGA and J-Dub both appear like they're going to be out for this game. Is that really true? SGA is still dealing with that abdominal injury. Yeah, he's not coming back until after the All-Star break. And J-Dub has officially been ruled out for this game as well. AJ Mitchell is going to be sidelined, so it's going to be like Dort, maybe newly acquired Jared McCain going to get some time, Kason Wallace, Caruso, Aaron Wiggins, and big minutes there from Hartenstein and Holmgren. So we'll see what happens in this one. Could be a little bit rough. They're 3.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 213.5. Houston 14-13 against spread on the road, 9-9 against spread after a loss, 14-13 against to the over on the road. The Thunder are 13-13 against spread at home, 6-5 against spread after a loss, 14-12 to the under at home. Guys, I'm going to take the Rockets here getting 3.5 points. No J-Dub, no SGA is not good news there for the Thunder. I definitely think the Rockets could potentially sneak in as our dog of the day on this one. I can't believe they're getting this many points with the Thunder so depleted. Next up, in our first evening game that also happens to be on Amazon Prime, we got the Dallas Mavericks heading to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. Now, the Mavs are 19-32 on the season. They've lost their last 6 in a row, including their last game, which was a 135-123 loss to the San Antonio Spurs. So you've got one of these little 2-game mini-series. Usually you want to back the team that lost the first game. You want to back them in the second game. We'll see what happens in this one. The Mavs, they played okay. Najee Marshall and Cooper Flagg both going off. Nobody really else helping too. I mean, I guess Max Christie had a decent game. We'll see what goes on in this one. They weren't at full strength, but will they be at full strength for this one? We'll have to look and see. It appears the bench is still going to be very banged up. Obviously, this is a team that was very active there around the trade deadline. We'll see if Middleton and Marvin Bagley, will they be playing in this one? Middleton is doubtful. Marvin Bagley is listed as probable, so it sounds like he will be out there. Gafford should be ready to go. Clay should be ready to go. Tyus Jones and Brandon Williams are both on the injury report as well. Tyus Jones, he should be ready to go, and Brandon Williams is also listed as probable. So a much healthier Dallas Mavericks team for this one. The Spurs are 35-16 on the season. They're coming off that win, obviously, and they've been playing pretty well. This is not a team that had to do too much around the trade deadline. We love what we've been seeing from Wemby recently. As a team, they shot 41% there in Game 1 of this little mini-series, so that's obviously very, very good news there. A lot of positives for the Spurs, honestly, coming into this game. And just in general right now, we do see Fox on the injury report. That's not great. Dealing with a back issue is questionable for this game. Aside from him, though, this is pretty much going to be the full-strength San Antonio Spurs. That's why they're 11.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 229.5 for this game. Dallas is 7-13 against spread on the road. They're 15-16 against spread after a loss. They're 13-7 to the under on the road. The Spurs are 13-10-1 against spread at home. They're 500 against the spread team after a win. They are 15-9 to the under at home. You could definitely think about under 229.5 in this game, especially given the trends these two teams have put up so far. I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of offense. Better than that, though, I will take the Dallas Mavericks getting those 11.5 points. That trend of backing the team that lost in the first game, backing them in the second game, has been very, very solid for us. I will definitely be taking the Mavs here, getting those 11.5 points. Hey guys, before we jump in and break down the Utah Jazz heading to Orlando to take on the Magic, we got to shout out the sponsor today in every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, guys, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, and college basketball picks. We're coming off a nice day over there. Obviously not a very busy day in the sports world out there, but we did cash Northern Iowa there as a nice one-unit play at -4. Also cashing VCU -7.5. That was a nice 1 unit play as well. Really no sweat at all on those 2 college basketball winners. So nice 2-0 day there on college basketball. Unfortunately, the premium did get burnt there on the Knicks also, but still a 2-1 day, still printing some units there for our premium members. And there are a slew of picks coming out for Saturday in the premium section with a ton of NBA, a ton of college basketball coming as well. Obviously, NHL is on a break right now with the Olympics going on, but they'll be back before you know it. There are also a ton of plays over there for the Super Bowl in the premium section. So definitely make sure you don't miss out on those. Get over to StumpTheSpread.com and check out the premium stuff, but you also got to check out all the free stuff over there. Tons and tons of great information every single day in the free picks tab. You want to be checking those out. They are definitely not plays that you want to be missing out on. Those do come from the premium handicappers as well. And you got to get on that free email newsletter, guys. Those are written by the premium handicappers covering golf. Gets big write-ups every single week. I know there's a ton of NFL player props here for the Super Bowl in those emails every single solitary day. And just regular old free picks. It's just a treasure trove of great information. Some huge golf plays have gotten cashed already here in the early part of the PGA season, casting a 33-1 underdog. That's pretty nuts. You do not see that every day. So definitely take advantage of all that free stuff at StumpTheSpread.com. I know all they ask you for to get on that email list is your name and your email address. You just go to StumpTheSpread.com and set up a free account, and that's all it takes. So definitely make sure you're taking advantage of that. Also, get over to StumpTheSpread.com if you're interested in picking up a Stump the Spread hoodie. We're selling them right now at cost for $39.99 and free shipping, getting to you in as little as a week. So definitely take advantage of that if you're looking to pick up a Stump the Spread hoodie. Also, guys, the date is now set for our YouTube channel members. If you love what we're doing here, consider clicking that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership, guys. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get the name on screen in every single video, but more importantly, they get access to our members-only giveaways. And here's what we're going to do. I owe you guys 2 giveaways for missing that time while I was sick. We're going to do both of those giveaways on the Sunday Super Bowl video. So make sure you're a YouTube channel member by then. You'll have 2 pulls at a giveaway, and then on Monday, we'll do our normally scheduled giveaway as well. We put the name of every single YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We spin that wheel live on the video. Whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie of their size mailed straight to their address of choice. So definitely make sure you're not missing out on that. Now, guys, let's go ahead and dive back in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Help us get to 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you're getting over to StumpTheSpread.com and taking advantage of all the great stuff over there. Now, let's get back after it. Next up, we're looking at the Utah Jazz heading to Orlando to take on the Magic. The Jazz come into this game 16-36 on the season. They were weirdly much more involved around the trade deadline than I thought they would be. They're coming off that 2-point loss there at Atlanta. We'll see. We'll see what things look like here down the stretch. Markkanen did play in that game. We saw from Collier and Ace Bailey. They're playing some guys. Sensabaugh, he put in a good effort as well. They take a very close loss, so they do get the cover in that one. And they come into this game looking relatively healthy. Jaren Jackson Jr. should be ready to go. Nurkic is good to go. Markkanen and Ace Bailey should be out there. Keontae George will be sidelined for this game, though. He's still dealing with that ankle issue. I guess he's technically questionable, so there's a chance. I would lean towards him probably missing this game, though. So we'll see what happens. They are going on the road here to take on the Orlando Magic, who are 26-24 on the season. They're coming off a 118-98 win there over the Brooklyn Nets. Suggs putting up his first career triple-double. That's pretty cool. The Magic have been one of the bigger disappointments in the NBA this season, so they need a good back half of the year, or things can get really, really bleak. Suggs obviously played well. Anthony Black had a nice bounce back. He played okay. Bane played well. Banchero played well. And Mo Wagner actually putting up 14 points off the bench. They need every bit of production they can get from this bench unit right now. So we'll see what they can do in this one. They're still not going to have Franz Wagner, but other than that, they are fully healthy and ready to go for this game. The Magic are 9.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 236.5. The Jazz are 13-12 against spread on the road, 19-16 against spread after a loss, 13-12 to the under on the road. Orlando is 11-12 against the spread at home, 8-17 against the spread after a win. They are 12-11 to the under at home. Guys, I'll definitely be taking the Jazz and the points here. They're fully healthy enough to make this a real game. I think it's going to be very, very competitive down the stretch. Will the Magic maybe win in the end? Maybe. But I think the Jazz are going to make this probably closer to a one-possession game than anything else. I think it's going to be a very, very tight one. Rapid fire through these games. We're looking at the Charlotte Hornets heading to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. The Hornets, they are 24-28 on the season, so we'll see what happens with them the rest of the way. They pick up Kobe White at the trade deadline, and they've been playing their best ball this season. They've won 8 straight games, beating some good teams in there. They just knocked off the Rockets. We saw Knuffle play great in that game. LaMelo Ball played well. Not a great shooting night for Brandon Miller, but Miles Bridges had a good day, and Josh Green popped off the bench. A very, very good effort there from the Hornets. They continue to really impress me. They're very healthy coming into this game. Kobe White, will he be able to make his season debut? No, he'll be held out through the All-Star break in an abundance of caution to help rest his ailing right calf. Okay, so no Kobe White for a bit. We'll see what the Hornets can do here on the road against the Atlanta Hawks, who at 26 and 27 have a lot of work still to do. They're coming off that crazy 2-point win there over the Jazz. Nikhil Alexander-Walker hitting that game winner. That was pretty bonkers, guys. The Hawks are actually led in scoring by Jock Landale, who had 26 points. Jalen Johnson had a big night as well. I mean, 22, 16, and 15 that's a crazy triple-double there. So we'll see what the Hawks can do here down the stretch. They've got a lot still to prove, obviously, in the post-Trae Young era. They will not have a Kongwu for this game, it doesn't appear. Yeah, he's dealing with a mouth issue. He's listed as questionable. Buddy Hield and Jonathan Kuminga coming over from the Warriors. We'll see when they're ready to make their debut. It sounds like Buddy Hield is questionable, and Kuminga is still dealing with a knee issue, will not play in this game. The Hawks are getting 2.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 231.5. The Hornets are 17-11 against the spread on the road, 12-11 against spread after a win, 16-12 to the under on the road. Atlanta is 9-15 against the spread at home, 13-12 against spread after a win, 14-10 to the under at home. This is we're getting into dangerous territory here with the Hornets, but I do think they're the better team than the Hawks. I will take them at -2.5. It feels a little bit rich. This probably won't make the pinned comment, but I do think the Hornets are the side that you want. Rolling right along here, guys, we have the Denver Nuggets heading to Chicago to take on the Bulls. The Nuggets are 33-19 on the season. They have lost 3 straight games, though. They didn't get super involved there at the trade deadline. The bad news there for them is Peyton Watson dealing with a hamstring injury. Just more and more injuries piling up here for the Denver Nuggets. They're coming off that tough double overtime loss against the Knicks, and they're going to be banged up for this one for sure. Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, Spencer Jones, and Jokic all on the injury report. Christian Brown probable due to that left ankle sprain. Peyton Watson going to be out at least 4 weeks. It was a pretty bad hamstring issue. Spencer Jones dealing with concussion. He has been ruled out for this game. And Jokic dealing with an ankle issue is listed as questionable. So a lot of bad news here as the Nuggets head to Chicago to take on the Bulls, who are 24-28 on the season. They've lost 3 straight games. Didn't keep it super close there in Toronto. They are back home, so we'll see what they can do here, but they're not at full strength. Giddey is going to miss this game dealing with that hamstring issue. Trey Jones appears like he's still going to be sidelined too. Yeah, going to have dealing with a hamstring issue for him as well. Jalen Smith, their new starting center, or not new, but new to being a starter. He's questionable due to a right calf strain. Other than that, I guess they're ready to go. Jaden Ivey going to be starting for his new team. Okoro out there, Buzelis out there. Anthony Simon's going to get a lot of run. I'm sure we'll see a lot of Colin Sexton minutes, but I am definitely worried about the Bulls right now. They're getting 4.5 points. We've got a total of 230.5. Denver is 18-10 against spread on the road, 11-7 against spread after a loss, 18-10 to the over on the road. The Bulls are 14-12 against spread at home, 11-16 against spread after loss, 16-10 to the under at home. This is a bit of a tough spot. So many injury unknowns here. Whether or not Jokic plays obviously makes a massive difference. I will lean towards the Nuggets here just slightly, but this game is much more of a stay-away spot for me than anything else. Next on the docket in our last nationally televised game of the night, we get the Golden State Warriors heading to LA to take on the Lakers. Now, the Warriors are fresh off that 101-97 win in Phoenix. Steph did not play in that game. We saw a massive night there from Pat Spencer. He really led them to this win. Draymond not really doing all that much out there, playing some decent defense, but Gui Santos had 18. D'Anthony Melton had 17. Pat Spencer had 20, and it was the benching of Pajemski that really, got this team going. They didn't have an amazing shooting night or anything like that, but they played good defense. They made, Dylan Brooks try and beat them, and yeah, the Warriors do come out on top in that one. So we'll see what they can do here. Not going to have Steph, obviously not going to have Porzingis. I don't really ever expect him to play basketball. Steph dealing with that knee issue. There's no timetable for his return. Porzingis, having been recently traded, has officially been ruled out for this game as they head to the Lakers to take on a team that will not have Luka. The Lakers have won 2 in a row. They're 31-19 on the season, but Luka going to be missing time with that hamstring. We'll see when he's able to come back, but it will not be for this one. The Lakers did pick up Luke Kennard to add some shooting. He's questionable for this game, so we'll see when he's ready to make his team debut here. But Austin Reeves coming off an absolutely insane game. Seems like all that time he sat out, he's ready to go. Probably not going to be hearing a whole lot about how the Lakers need to trade Austin Reeves. That was one of the dumber things that I've heard on a player, or I guess technically agent podcast in quite a while. So the Lakers, they're 3.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 223.5. The Warriors are 11-15 against spread on the road, 11-16 against spread after win, 15-11 to the over on the road. The Lakers are 12-9 against spread at home, 14-16 against spread after win, 15-6 to the over at home. I actually think over 223.5 is a pretty good lean in this one. I do worry a little bit about the Warriors not really being able to score, though. I will take the Lakers here at -3.5. I'll fade the Warriors here again with Steph on the bench. I think Golden State's kind of in tanking mode, and the Lakers, I think Austin Reeves can pick up all the slack that Luka Doncic has left. Next up, we're looking at the Philadelphia 76ers heading to Phoenix to take on the Suns. The 76ers come into this game 29-22 on the season. They are fresh off of that 119-115 loss at the Lakers. Embiid did play in that game, but the problem for the 76ers down the stretch was not Embiid. He played amazing. They just had no answers for Austin Reeves. They could not slow him down at all. He was getting everything he wanted. Dude went absolutely nuts. He ended up with, 35 points, only 7 free throws in the game. Crazy work there. Maxey had 26. Edgecombe had 19. None of it was enough down the stretch. So we'll see what the 76ers can do in this one. They're fully healthy coming into this game. Obviously, want to have Paul George for a long time. I don't think that's a big deal. Embiid is dealing with his knee issue. As usual, he's listed as questionable. I think there's a good chance that Embiid ends up playing in this game as they head to Phoenix to take on the Suns, who are 31-21 on the season. They're coming off that pretty bad-looking loss there to the Warriors, where they gave up a 14-point lead. Dylan Brooks is taking too many shots, but somebody's got to take the shots with Devin Booker sidelined, so maybe I'm being too hard on him. But, not a great night there for Colin Gillespie, not necessarily a terrible night for Mark Williams, but 11-10, they could have used a little bit more from him against a Warriors team that really doesn't have any good big men. So we'll see if the Suns have a bounce back in them in this one. Still going to be without Devin Booker and Jalen Green. Grayson Allen has been added to the injury report as well. Booker officially questionable for this game, so I guess there's a chance. Jalen Green, questionable, dealing with that hamstring and hip issue. And Grayson Allen dealing with that knee issue. He is out for this game. So the Suns, they're still 1.5 favorites here at home. We've got a total of 221.5. The 76ers are 16-7 against spread on the road, 15-6 against spread after a loss, 12-11 to the under on the road. The Suns are 17-8 against spread at home, 14-6 against spread after a loss, 18-7 to the under at home themselves. I could maybe wrap my head around under 221.5, but better than that, guys. Just give me the 76ers either on the money line or getting that 1.5. If Embiid plays, they're in a fantastic shape. Even if he doesn't, I think they're going to be okay here as long as we see Booker sit this game out, which I do expect him to. So this might be a little bit of a wait-and-see spot, but I definitely think the 76ers are the side you want. Heading into our last couple of NBA games before we hop over and cover the college basketball slate, we got the Memphis Grizzlies heading to Portland to take on the Trailblazers. Now, the Grizzlies and Trailblazers are playing right now at time of recording. They're in the third quarter, and Portland is now up by 10. So that lock of the day is, looking okay. Looking pretty okay. We'll see what happens down the stretch here. Obviously, we don't have an updated injury report. The Grizzlies, they're 20-29 on the season. They had won 2 in a row going to game 1 of this 2-game set in Portland. No updated injury report. We do see Scottie Pippen Jr. making his season debut, but we got guys like Ty Jerome, Santi Aldama, Kyle Anderson, and KCP all missing time. So we'll see what happens here as they go on the road to take on the Blazers. The Blazers got Scoot back, so that's probably going to be helpful. They are 5 games below 500. We've seen Denny Adjeva missing a lot of time there with that back issue. We'll see when he's able to get back out there on the floor. But other than that, they've been kind of healthy, so we'll see what happens. They're currently listed as 8-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 233.5 for this game. Memphis is 10-12 against spread on the road, 2-4 against spread on no rest, 15-7 to the under on the road. Portland's 15-11 against spread at home, 7-3 against spread on no rest, 15-11 to the over at home. I don't really have much of a lean on this game, guys. We may end up doing our standard system play where we back the team that loses in the first half, in the first part of the 2-game series. We back them in the second game, but obviously injury news and still too much up in the air for this one. Next up, guys, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers heading to Sacramento to take on the Kings. The Cavs are 31-21 on the season. They've been playing pretty well, winning 7 of their last 8. They're coming off a 124-91 win at the Clippers, and now they got to head to Sacramento to take on the Kings. In that win, Donovan Mitchell played great. Jarrett Allen, maybe not amazing, but Donovan Mitchell played really, really well. We liked what we saw from Jalen Tyson. We liked what we saw off the bench from Schroeder, and we'll see what they eventually get when we have James Harden out there for the Cavaliers. That's going to be a pretty big change. I'm not sure how that's going to work in the long term, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll got to check the injury report for this one. Obviously, Harden, he's questionable for this game. It's unclear when he's going to make his debut here for the Cavaliers. Dean Wade is questionable due to a left ankle sprain, and Evan Mobley still going to miss probably some more. We don't have a clear picture on when Evan Mobley is going to come back from that calf issue. They're going on the road to take on the Kings, who are currently playing the Clippers right now. They're actually only down by 2 in the middle of the third quarter, so we'll see what happens there. The Kings, I mean, this franchise is a mess. We'll see what they do down the stretch. Picking up DeAndre Hunter maybe helps. Sabonis missing this current game. I have no reason to think he would necessarily be back for this next game. The bench is terrible. This team is not very good. The Kings are getting 11.5 points at home. We've got a total of 234.5. Cleveland 12-12 against spread on the road, 12-18 against spread after a win, 13-11 to the over on the road. The Kings are 10-16 against spread at home, 2-7 against spread on no rest, 14-12 to the under at home. I'm going to lean a bit towards the Cavaliers just because the Kings are so bad on no rest, but with so many moving parts here, this is going to be a stay-away game for me for sure. We don't even know if Harden's going to play, and if he does, it's going to be really weird for him and Donovan Mitchell to try and figure things out. Now, guys, hopping over to cover the college basketball slate. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into a very nice looking Saturday of college basketball action. First up, we're looking at the Alabama Crimson Tide as they go on the road to take on the Auburn Tigers. The Crimson Tide come into this game 15-7 on the season. It has not been easy for them. They're coming off a 197 win though over Texas A&M. They'll definitely take that. Now they go on the road for 2 in a row, heading to Auburn and then to Ole Miss. This is an elite level offensive team. The defense is not great. The rebounding is good, but I think that's largely a function of their pace of play. So we'll see what they can do in this one. They have work to do down the stretch. They do have some decent wins under their belt, but it has not been just a banner season here for the Crimson Tide, who started the year ranked very highly and now are well out of the top 25. They're heading to Auburn to take on the Tigers, who are 14-8 on the season, 5-4 in SEC play. They had won 4 in a row, taking down South Carolina, Ole Miss, number 16 Florida, and then Texas. But then they went into Tennessee and took an 8-point loss. So we'll see if they can bounce back. Keyshawn Hall is a monster leading scorer, 21 points per game, pretty efficient shooting numbers as well. Auburn is a top 35-ish team offensively, very good. The rebounding numbers are okay, not necessarily elite, and the defensive numbers, though, they're okay defense. So we'll see what they can do here. They are playing at home. They are 2.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 174.5. Alabama, not a great road team, 1-3 against spread on the road, a 500 over-under team. Auburn is 6-4 against spread at home, 13-9 to the over. I think this is a pretty big letdown spot for Alabama, so I will back Auburn here in a small way, but probably not a play that I think is going to make the pinned comment. I just don't have quite enough trust there in the Auburn Tigers. Next up, guys, and by far the biggest college basketball game of the day, we got the number 4 Duke Blue Devils going on the road to take on the number 14 North Carolina Tar Heels, one of the biggest rivalries in college sports. Duke, they're number 4 in the nation. They're 21-1 on the year. Their only loss came against Texas Tech by a single point. They're coming off a 67-49 win over Boston College, and they've kind of been running roughshod over the ACC. They're 10-0 in conference play, and they haven't really even been threatened many times. It's been a pretty dominant run. Cameron Boozer, maybe the best player in college basketball right now. Duke is 40th in the nation in total offense. They're only giving up 63, 64 points per game. That's crazy. Their rebounding numbers are off the charts. This is absolutely one of the best teams in college basketball this season. They're heading to UNC to take on the Tar Heels, who are 18-4 on the season. They're ranked 14th in the nation. They've won 4 straight in conference play, taking down Notre Dame, going on the road and winning by 5 at number 14 Virginia, going on the road and winning at Virginia Tech, and then getting a 10-point win over Syracuse, kind of surviving a letdown spot, although that was a pretty competitive game. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Caleb Wilson is a solid leading scorer. They're a good offensive and rebounding team as well, 59th in the nation total offense, 40th in total rebounding, and their defensive numbers are good too, don't get me wrong. So we'll see what they can do in this one. It looks like the odds makers are backing the Blue Devils here because North Carolina is getting 5 points at home. We've got a total of 151.5 in this game. Duke, they are 6-1 against the spread playing on the road this season, 15-7 to the under. North Carolina, 8-5 against spread at home. They're a 500 over-under team. Guys, Duke is just too much better than North Carolina here. 5 points is not enough. I think we see the Blue Devils win this one by 10 or more. I think it's going to be a very comfortable win here. They're going to dominate the boards in this game. They're the better scoring team. Unless they get absolutely homered by the officials, there's no way I think that Duke even lets this be a close game. Next up, we've got another massive showdown. This one's in the Big Ten. We've got the number 5 Illinois Fighting Illini going to Michigan State to take on the number 10 Michigan State Spartans. Now, Illinois, they come into this game playing great. They're on a long winning streak. They're currently 11-1 in Big Ten play. They blew out Northwestern by 40 their last time out. They went into Nebraska before that and got a win. This team is looking insane. Keaton Wrangler is a monster. We're loving what we're seeing from this team offensively. Their rebounding numbers are off the charts good. Their defense is excellent. Like, it's very, very difficult to find a weakness here for this Fighting Illini squad. They have looked amazing. Now, they're going on the road to take on a tough opponent. Michigan State's been good this year. They're 19-4, 9-3 in conference play. They have actually lost 2 straight games, though. They played at home there against number 3 Michigan, lost that one pretty handily. And then the last time out was a 76-73 loss at Minnesota. That was a tough loss. Maybe they fell victim to the look-ahead spot. This squad, though, is not great offensively. They can struggle to put the ball in the basket sometimes. Defensively, they're very good. The rebounding numbers are excellent, but they're 140th in the nation total offense for a reason, guys. And it's because they're just not that talented of a squad offensively. So we'll see what they can do here. They are playing at home. That helps. They are 1.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 144.5. Illinois, though, has not struggled on the road. They are 5-1 against the spread playing on the road. They're 15-8 to the under. Michigan State, they're 5-7-1 against the spread at home, 15-8 to the under themselves. You could definitely talk me into under 144.5 in this game. I do not think we're going to see some crazy amount of offense. That being said, though, I will definitely take Illinois here getting a 1.5 or take them on the money line. Either way, they're in excellent shape to win this game. I think they're too talented offensively. Michigan State might be able to slow them down. They won't be able to stop them. Definitely give me Illinois here playing on the road. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the number 25 Tennessee Volunteers going on the road to take on the Kentucky Wildcats. Now, Tennessee, they're 16-6 on the season. They've had some pretty big swings this year. They did take down Alabama, Georgia, Auburn, and Ole Miss over their last 4, so very good work there. That win at Georgia, though, came by a single point. That was a barn burner of a game, but they did blow out Ole Miss their last time out. They're looking for some revenge here after an 80-78 loss against Kentucky not too long ago. Jacoby Gillespie is a monster. This team is one of the elite rebounding teams in the nation. Their defensive numbers are good. Their offensive numbers are very solid. Maybe not top tier, but very, very good. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Kentucky Wildcats, who are 16-7 on the season. They're coming off back-to-back wins, winning at Arkansas, and then getting a very, very solid 94-78 win over Oklahoma, really avoiding the look-ahead spot for that one. So they got a couple tough games coming, though. They got to take on Tennessee, then they got to go to Florida. So we'll see how it works out. They're not quite on the same level on the boards as Tennessee is. Their offensive numbers are good, though, and they do play some defense. So we'll see what happens in this one. The Wildcats are 1.5-point favorites at home, a total of 145.5 in this game. Tennessee only 1-3-1 against the spread on the road, 14-8 to the over. Kentucky 7-8 against the spread at home, 12-11 to the under. I think Kentucky has turned something of a corner here. I will back the Wildcats here at home at -1.5. Will it make the pinned comment? I'm not sure. Tennessee is a good team, but I do love what I'm seeing from Kentucky right now, so I would be lying if I said this game didn't have a chance. In our biggest late game, in our last game of the schedule, we are looking at the number 8 Houston Cougars going on the road to take on the number 16 BYU Cougars out there in the Big 12. Houston, they are 20-2 on the season. They're coming off a 79-59 blowout win there over UCF. This team has rarely been threatened this year. I mean, they did lose that game at Texas Tech, so they do have something to prove here going on the road, that is for sure. This squad plays amazing defense, giving up 62 points per game. Kingston Flemings is a monster offensively, 17 points, 52% from the field, and 5.5 assists. That's crazy production. They get up and down. They can play whatever style they need to play, and the main style they play is crazy, crazy aggressive defense. So we'll see if they can impose their will here on BYU. The Cougars, 16th in the nation, 17-5 overall. They're only 5-4 in Big 12 play, though. They've lost 3 straight games, losing to number 1 Arizona by 3, losing by 8 at number 14 Kansas City, and then they went to Oklahoma State and lost that game 99-92. Maybe falling victim to a look-ahead spot for this game. We'll have to wait and see. AJ DeBance has been a monster, 24 points per game, 54% from the field. There's no lack of talent on this BYU squad, but they are suffering from a little bit of a lack of success. So we'll see what happens. They're an elite level offensive team. Their rebounding and defensive numbers are good. They are getting a 1.5 here at home, a total of 149.5 in this game. Houston is 3-1 against the spread on the road, 12-10 to the under. BYU is only 4-6 against the spread at home, and they are 11-11 to the over/under. This is going to be a very interesting game to watch. I will back Houston here playing on the road. It makes me a little bit nervous. Obviously, BYU has to be super, super locked in for this game, but I do just think the defensive intensity that Houston can bring is going to be too much for this one for the BYU Cougars to handle. Guys, that's all the games we have here today on an extremely busy Saturday. Slam that like button for me. Still quite under the weather. A lot of coughs getting edited out of all of these videos. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. On the road to 100,000 subscribers. Let's help me make that happen. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. And make sure you click the link in the description. Get over there to stumpthespread.com and check out all the free stuff, all the premium stuff as well. Tons of amazing resources over there for any serious or even semi-serious sports bettor. And guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.